everyone, and welcome to News Generation. In this episode, your views on the passing of MPP Upper East Regional Chair Adams Mahama, what some children in Wa do on the weekends, and the art school which hopes to help young people find their own art style. We will explain all this in this edition of News Generation. My name is Ifwa Akwa Harrison. Please stay with us. News Generation, supported by
Cowbell with Vitarid. We all know how important good nutrition is to grow up big and strong. Not only is cowbell milk enriched with 28 vitamins and minerals, it's also boosted by the 5 most important vitamins, which we call Vitarid.
It's got vitamin A for good eyesight development. It's got vitamin C to help fight infections. It's got vitamin D and calcium to help build strong bones and teeth. It's got vitamin E to help with body protection. And it's got vitamin K for general well-being and immunity.
For good health and vitality, only Cowbell with Vitarid puts you on the fast track.
And remember, you can always find us on social media at facebook.com/NewsGenerationGH. We are also on Twitter at NewsGenGH. Now, something very terrible happened over the week. The Upper East Regional Chairman of the opposition party, MPP, Adams Mahama, died. He died as a result of wounds he got when acid was thrown on him. The issue is being investigated by police, but here's what you have to say about this case so far.
I heard that acid was poured on him, which led to his death, and was rushed to the hospital.
I think it's due to political issues, and I think it's very, very cruel to pour acid on a human being, because it wouldn't be also nice to me when acid is poured on me, not even you being alive still, but you being dead. It's very, very cruel and rude.
I think it's a very cruel act, and it's against the law of God and also the state. And since the investigators have not yet finished or brought out with the cause of it, we are still looking up to them.
I think those involved should be punished severely.
I think there's the one who did it, or suspects, people who they think did it, should be sent to the police station or the court so that they investigate the matter and find the cause and the person who did it, so that the person should be prosecuted.
The investigation should be more strict so that we can find out the cause of it, and the suspects and the criminals will be at least be punished.
Still in Wa, Upper East Regional Capital, where many children idle about after school. Some of them even get into trouble while roaming the streets. But 13-year-old Abdul Kadir Adam and his friends are different.
It is a Sunday mid-morning in Wa, and the children here roam the city, but Abdul Kadir Adam and his friends have decided to use their weekend differently. It's a busy day for them here at the Yanator sawmill. They are only weekend part-time workers, and because they are children, they are only allowed to do few things, like holding the wood on the reaping machine extra carefully. The machines are dangerous, but the young ones are still eager to learn. Hafiz Sungumo is a manager here. He is always happy to have these children here on weekends.
These children, they are all students. Yes, so they only come here during the weekends, normally Saturdays and Sundays. And I think the reason why they come here is because they don't want to loiter around. And because they don't want to idle around, they come, they also send them, they run errands and then do the minor things. And at the end of the day, they got some little money into their pockets. So it helps them and it helps us too. These children, they don't get to the machine because any machine can be dangerous. Yes, every machine have its side effects. So because of the dangerous nature of these machines, we don't allow them to tamper with it.
Abdul and his friends also playing wood, and they tell us spending their time here on weekends is worthwhile.
Saturdays and Sunday, I know that they are not going to school. It's a free holiday, so that's why I come here. I don't want to be roaming, so that's why I come here to work. I can get small money in my pocket.
I don't want to always be roaming. That's why I always see my friends here. I want to come and join them. That's why I came here. We help each other to carry the board and the things that we normally do here. Sometimes the work is always easy, sometimes it's not easy. Some of the boards, if you carry it, it's always heavy. We can't carry it.
I have always come here to make some small money to put in my pocket.
If somebody come and buy our board or 2x6, I always go and help him to sell the one that he need. So me and my friends take it to the planer or the repair. If you want to rip, we rip it for him. If you want to plane it for it to be smooth.
The small money I just came and said, he helped me to take it and buy my properties and some things. Sometimes I always give the money to my grandmother.
The Organization of African Unity was formed on 25th May 1963 in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. The aim is to achieve total peace, unity, and development of the African continent. The organization was reorganized into the African Union in 2002, but after 52 years, there are still many conflicts in African countries. So, as Africans mark AU Day on 25th May, we ask, is the African Union still relevant?
The African Union has helped promote African culture and sports a lot in Africa, and it has also helped settle disputes among member countries, and it has also helped to promote this one. It has also helped to eradicate poverty in Africa. And it has also helped to enable member countries to put their ideologies together so that they can promote the African country.
I don't think it's like that relevant to African countries, because African countries like Sierra Leone and Liberia, like there's still conflict there. So I think the AUJ sometimes doesn't mean relevant to African countries. But some people don't usually think about the African country. So I think sometimes it's not relevant to me.
Yes, they are relevant because they've helped control many cases, especially they've helped South Africa gain independence. So their problem mostly is financial problems. Financial problems are the most problem faced by them. So any organization face problems. So I can say that they are doing well, but these are the problems they are facing.
I think it is very relevant because it helps promote national unity and solidarity in the country. People think that it's irrelevant because they have different ideologies. It's not everybody who accepts something created by someone.
And this is because it's not everybody who can follow one thing and say that this is what they want, but surely there will be some upside and down. Some people who want to go for other options.
It's a gradual process. We can say maybe they are like doing something so that they can help us come together, but we don't know because we are not part of the African Union. So what I would say that they should have patience, so that they should wait, so that the African Union will do what they want to do.
They solve some, but they can't solve all because they are human beings.
I think the current leaders of the African Union should be united and they should help promote the organization.
And there's still more to come, including what children in Nicaragua get up to after the break. News Generation, supported by
Cowbell with Vitarid. We all know how important good nutrition is to grow up big and strong. Not only is cowbell milk enriched with 28 vitamins and minerals, it's also boosted by the 5 most important vitamins, which we call VitaRich.
It's got vitamin A for good eyesight development. It's got vitamin C to help fight infections. It's got vitamin D and calcium to help build strong bones and teeth. It's got vitamin E to help with body protection. And it's got vitamin K for general well-being and immunity.
For good health and vitality, only cowbell with VitaRich puts you on the fast track.
Welcome back to News Generation. My name is Ifwa. Now I have a question for you. How can you change the lives of young people through technology? Well, there is a competition that allows you to do just that. Let me tell you all about it. And 2015 UNICEF Reach for Change Social Innovators winner Ishmael Hammond joins us in the studio to tell us all about it and how his award reflects and helps young people. Welcome to News Generation, Ishmael. So tell us about this award.
Thank you very much. The Reach for Change Social Innovators Award or Challenge seeks to identify individuals and organizations that have the passion and the potential to help create a difference in the lives of children.
So how are you nominated?
Yes, the challenge seeks to establish the fact that in 2015, the world is going to take stock of how far we've come, the progress we have made with the Millennium Development Goals. And we are going to realize that despite the progress we have made, there is still much to be done for children and in promoting their rights. Therefore, UNICEF and Reach for Change are looking for new ideas to help improve children's education, and that is how we won.
Okay, so how exactly were you nominated for the challenge?
Yes, I think it was open to the public. They were looking for innovative ideas. We proposed to improve learning or reading and reduce school dropouts by using technology. So we propose to
you proposed an app?
Yes, we propose a learning to read application in Tree.
Okay.
Because Tree is phonetic and a lot of children identifies with the language. So we propose that innovation that to help children to learn using their local language and then transfer their skills in learning to read in English.
Wow.
Yes.
Why did you decide to create an application? I mean, wouldn't you want to reach children in deprived communities?
It is exactly our thought, but we also have sustainability issues in our mind.
And sustainability means?
Sustainability means that what can we do today that will affect the lives of children in 10 years? Yes, the Tree reading model, we're using it to affect about 100 children in our center in Carnation.
Okay, and this is the Special Attention Project Center.
Yes, the Special Attention Project Center.
Okay, just for those who don't know, can you briefly tell us about the Special Attention Project?
Thank you. The Special Attention Project is an organization that is promoting the rights of children with learning difficulties. And we are using 4 ways to do this. We have a social work program or education program that identifies these children on the street and bring them to our center. We are using awareness and advocacy to bridge the knowledge gap that if you have a child that cannot read or write, it is not an issue of witchcraft or spiritualism. We are doing research, and we are also training teachers and parents to be able to better understand what learning difficulties are in children and to help them.
We'll be catching up with Ishmael and the Special Attention Project in subsequent episodes. We want to see how the Tree Reading app works. So watch News Generation. We'll be bringing that to you very, very soon. Now, moving on. Now, one of the things many children learn to do is to color or draw, but many don't think about it as something they can even do when they grow up. Well, there's an art school which hopes to help young people find their own style.
For 46 years, young people have learnt the different elements of art in this school. The subjects cover a wide range of interests: sports, tradition, anything imaginable.
I call this the basics of soccer. The reason why I took this work is I realized there was a time that I wanted to play football. But when I went to the team, I went there with just a normal foot. So the coach asked me, if you want to play football, you need your boot. So he was just communicating to me for me to know that if only you want to play football, there are certain basics you cannot forgo. You have to stick to it.
A former student, Owusu Ankuma, is popular all over the world. He recently worked on a project with famous designer Giorgio Armani. There's also Samuel Adokwe, also a former student who is a staff of all the major art schools in New York City and has won several international awards. Those are achievements the current students hope to match or even beat with the right support.
In Ghana, especially Africa, our parents, even my father told me that artists are not rich, so he will never let me do art.
More art schools, and the high schools also are not being supported most. They should be supported, so they should have more art facilities that could help them do more, so that people know more about the art. Even at your little age, you can even do art and sell it more.
Already they have some work to show for all the time spent mixing colors.
And we're off to my director, Patrick Gomez's hometown, Nicaragua, where the youth orchestra in Ruben Dario celebrated its 3rd year anniversary. After performing in El Salvador and Guatemala, they got to perform in their own country.
Hoy se celebra nuestro 3er aniversario con la Orquesta Juvenil Sinfónica del Teatro Nacional Rubén Darío.
Todos tenemos nerviosismo antes de tocar, pero lo más importante no es solo tocar, sino salir y disfrutar.
Cuando terminamos de tocar y oigo los aplausos del público, me da una emoción grande.
The audience really enjoyed the concert.
Inspirador, la verdad. Ver que jóvenes que, por ejemplo, allá al fondo habían unos que de 14 años que se veían que en realidad estaban en una orquesta.
Yo toco violín y a mí me gustaría algún día poder ser parte de una orquesta como esta.
For the kids, their orchestra means a lot.
Yo estoy cumpliendo mi sueño. Mi sueño es formar parte de una orquesta, pero no solo queda ahí mi sueño, sino que queda en seguir adelante y convertirme en un gran músico, en ser un licenciado, sacar una maestría y un doctorado en música como instrumentista. Y no quedarme en otro país, sino que volver y compartir lo que yo sé.
And just in case you're wondering, no, my director is not really from Nicaragua, but he's a Ghanaian with the name Patrick Gomez. Which Ghanaian has the name Gomez? Anyway, there's more News Generation coming up after this.
We all know how important good nutrition is to grow up big and strong. Not only is cowbell milk enriched with 28 vitamins and minerals, it's also boosted by the 5 most important vitamins, which we call VitaRich.
It's got vitamin A for good eyesight development. It's got vitamin C to help fight infections. It's got vitamin D and calcium to help build strong bones and teeth. It's got vitamin E to help with body protection. And it's got vitamin K for general well-being and immunity.
For good health and vitality, only cowbell with VitaRich puts you on the fast track.
And we are back. Now, more than a week after a failed coup attempt to kick out Burundian President Pierre Nkurunziza, protesters continue to take to the streets of Bujumbura, Burundi's capital, to demonstrate against their leader. Although the president has postponed parliamentary elections from May 26 to June 6, protesters are still not happy. Not even calls by the Kenyan president, Uhuru Kenyatta, for presidential elections to be put on hold can convince President Nkurunziza. This is what the world is talking about.
Kaun is yet to return to Burundi more than a week after some military and police generals attempted to overthrow President Pierre Nkurunziza. For weeks, President Nkurunziza has been under pressure both at home and on the international front to postpone the presidential vote. Since the coup was stopped, protests have continued in Burundi's capital, Bujumbura. Demonstrators chanting anti-government slogans have even clashed with police. Opposition and rights groups say Nkurunziza's bid for a third 5-year term violates the constitution and the terms of the peace deal that brought an end to a 13-year civil war in 2006. Nkurunziza, a former rebel leader and born-again Christian who believes he has divine backing to lead, argues his first term did not count as he was elected by parliament, not directly by the people. The president, after surviving the coup attempt, was photographed playing football. Despite opposition to his bid to run for a third term in office, he was playing in his daily kickabout with friends in the capital, Bujumbura. In his first public speech to Burundians after the coup attempt, President Nkurunziza said that an insignificant part of the capital was experiencing unrest while the rest of Burundi was peaceful. He, however, urged the thousands of Burundians who have fled the country to return. But the situation has affected Burundi's relations with other countries. Belgium, the former colonial master, has threatened to end assistance to the country if Nkurunziza goes ahead with a third term.
And it's time to take a trip around the world. The Judicial Service Workers Association, JUSAG, has called off a 2-day strike declared Tuesday, May 19th. The decision to call off the strike was reached after a meeting with the Labour Minister, Haruna Idrisu, who has assured them of a fair payment plan. The strike was in protest over unpaid allowances, which have been in arrears for several months. As a result of the strike, court activities were disrupted as judges, lawyers, and clients were left stranded at the various courts across the country. Ghana coach Silas Tete has released a list of 21 players to form his squad for the upcoming Under-20 World Cup tournament in New Zealand. Ghana are in Group B of the 30 May to 20th June tournament, alongside Argentina, Austria, Panama. The Black Satellites are the only African nations to have lifted the trophy in 2009. Burundi's President Pierre Nkurunziza has been photographed playing football as protests continue over his bid to run for a third term in office. The president was playing in his daily kickabout with friends in the capital Bujumbura. The latest unrest, a protester was shot dead in the capital city. Last week, there was a failed coup against Mr. Nkurunziza. Senior officials from both the army and police have been accused of being involved. Emmanuel Adebayo has been granted compassionate leave by Tottenham Hotspur for a second time this season to return to Togo to sort out his personal issues. The Spurs head coach has excused Adebayo from training this week and the final game of the season against Everton. He will not travel on the post-season tour to Malaysia and Sydney. Adebayo has made a series of allegations against his family on Facebook in recent weeks that have prompted concerns over his mental state. Reigning VGMA Artist of the Year, Stonebwoy, has earned his first ever nomination for the Best International Act, Africa, of the 2015 BET Awards. Sarkodie, who also got his third nomination, is hoping for a second win after sharing his 2012 award with Nigeria's Wizkid. This year marks the 15th edition of the BET Awards, and it is scheduled to take place at the Nokia Theater in Los Angeles, USA on June 28 this year. So that's all we have time for this edition of News Generation. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Remember, you can always catch up with us. We're on social media. It's facebook.com/NewsGenerationGH. We're also on Twitter @NewsGenGH. Until next time, enjoy the long weekend. Bye. News Generation, supported by
Cowbell with Vitarid.